was missing. This is starting to fill in pieces. And you know what, Mike? It makes sense.
It does.
We don't know if it's accurate. We can't confirm it, but it makes sense.
No, indeed it does. Let's listen to this Gerald Posner from the Daily Beast talking about the final confrontation when it really turned into a fight. Let's listen to that.
He locks himself in the bathroom for a few minutes. When he comes out, Elin manages to grab his cell phone from him, and he has actually sent a text message off to Rachel Yucatel saying, in essence, you know, she knows I'm packing, and a divorce could be imminent. Well, at that point, Elin absolutely loses it. As I say, out of the Swedish girl comes the Viking, and she starts pummeling him, as I understand it, with her fist, both on his chest and his arms, and then grabs the golf club. Tiger runs out of there in his bare feet into that car, and she's chasing him.
Again, Gerald Posner from the Daily Beast, CNN, HLN. We've not been able to confirm that story, but as Jim Murray just said, it indeed makes sense. Let's get Vikki Ziegler in on this. Vikki, when we look at what could happen in the future, what do these details do to any kind of custody issue that could come around in the future?
Well, Mike, I think at the end of the day, we all knew what was really going on, but the pieces are being put together now. And I think if he wants to keep his family unit intact, he's got to really show, number one, that he could be a proper parent. Is he really taking drugs? Is he taking Ambien and other prescription pills? Could he properly not parent the children in a supervised or unsupervised setting? That's one issue that needs to come to light. And listen, if they're going to make this an explosive divorce case and open their public to the world, their kind of private indiscretions, then I think Rachel Yucatel and all of these women could potentially be subpoenaed to come to court and testify, which would really be ugly.
Yeah, you better believe it. Let's get a call in. Kurt's with us in Arkansas. Hey, Kurt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I heard the fight between Elin and Tiger a long time ago, and the whole time I've been thinking is if he was injured while they were fighting, the car wreck may have been staged. He's been trying to do whatever he can to protect her, and eventually they're going to get back together. And that's my comment.
Okay, Kurt, he's looking on the positive that they could possibly get back together. Many wonder, don't see how, and we also have not heard any way that was staged, as many people who came onto the scene saw Tiger practically unconscious. More on this coming up. Stay with us.
If your business has you on the run, get a mailbox at the UPS store. We'll text or email you when you have a package to pick up.
Yucatel was the one that Tiger set up, allegedly, to call Elin. And as he said, that Elin bought it. But then she gets suspicious and ends up with Tiger's phone. And the way we gather the story, she sees a text from Tiger to Rachel Yucatel, and it reads, "You are the only one I've loved." And then, obviously, Elin Nordegren was infuriated at that point. Let's go back to Vikki Ziegler, family law attorney. Vikki, those kind of things, I could not imagine anybody who's in a relationship, married, to read that. Again, how does that play into this as we look forward to the future as to what could happen to them, Tiger and Elin?
Sure. I mean, devastating text messages, certainly incriminating proof, obviously, that an adultery occurred. The question is, are they going to reconcile? Is Elin really staying with this therapy session, the sex addiction therapy, to make sure that Tiger gets better and they can reconcile and continue to be married, or is this marriage over? And really, the question really becomes, what's Elin's tolerance level? I mean, now she knows that all of these women are out, and he potentially could have really been in love with Rachel Yucatel. So she's doing soul searching, absolutely. I think Tiger's doing whatever he can to probably save face in his marriage, and then probably think about rehabbing his career. And there's a lot of unknowns, but this does not look good for their marriage. No. Especially representing either of them, but specifically Elin.
Yeah. Jim, what do we know about Elin? Where is she? Where are the kids? Any new details on that front?
Well, according to Radar Online, she spent 5 days with Tiger in rehab in Mississippi and then went back to Orlando to be with her kids. But there was yet another development, and that is a British tabloid just revealed a woman who's coming forward saying she was number 19. So when you look at Rachel Yucatel, that's just one. You could almost understand somebody falling in love with someone else, but 19. And when you talk about the level of tolerance, I don't know. It's very difficult to imagine a scenario where any wife wouldn't lose it. Any person wouldn't lose it in that scenario.
No, exactly. I'd lost count. 19 at this point. Real quick, Barry in Virginia is with us. Barry, go ahead.
Yes.
my whole thing about this Tiger Woods thing is that even though Tiger made a big mistake, we understand that. We know he's a high-profile golf player and everything. He's #1 in the world. But we got to give this guy time enough to heal. Him and his wife is going through a whole enough stuff right now. Every time we turn the media on, it's this, it's that, and this about what Tiger's doing. We know what he done. All the women that came out.
Gotcha.
Let this family heal.
Well, we're trying. Well, I'll say this, Barry, that when we get the details of what happened that night, a lot of people have been interested in this story. We're gonna bring those details to the table. Thanks so much, guys. More news coming up. Keep it here.